everybody, this is Skate,
Mush and Mikey.
Rock and Roll Roundtable.
Yeah, presented by Mush Men Media.
This week, costumed bands.
Yeah, costume band, which, there's a lot of reasons bands wear different kind of clothing. From all the way back into hair metal to the hippies to metalcore now. They all got a different look to them, but there's a big thing with costume bands.
Okay, so let's. This is a topic that I'm gonna be. If I know the band, cool, but it's gonna be. Are we talking outlandish costumes? Are we talking like the '70s guys used to all wear the same suit? What kind of? Give me a little setup here, Mikey. What are we covering?
We're talking like, for me anyway, when I think of a costume band, I think of Kiss right away.
Okay.
Because, they had their makeup and all that with their costume. They also were a band that you could do without. I mean, they did without for a period of time, but there it wasn't it was maybe a gimmick to some or shtick to them, but other bands don't have like a stick. That's just how they've always been. They come out, they had these costumes for the theatrical part of their concert. And
Okay.
sometimes it's to give it a mystique to the band too. That's what we see happening a lot now. So I mean, it's a fine line between theatrical and costumed. I think
Okay.
what I get with costumed is people that actually wear different clothes. They don't just go up there with like a
Rockstar
headset
gear.
on or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, it's not always um, over the top, but sometimes it is. So you got both sides of that. Some people use it as just their costume to play in, and other ones use it as part of their act for the show.
Okay.
So there's plenty to go by. And I guess you just have to make up your own mind as far as definition wise what you would call one band to the next. Uh, for me, personally, I mean, like I said, the first band I think of when I think of costume band is Kiss because they called them costumes. It wasn't like
Yeah.
they come out with just the mystique or anything. They had their characters, right?
Yes.
You had the cat, you had the Starman, you had the demon, you had the spaceman. So Kiss was like the first band that I really got into because they were different, but they were rock music too. They weren't like bands that were probably costumed before them, like the Beatles, like you talked about.
Yeah.
Those, they come out in all the suits and all that stuff. It's like, well, it's nothing covering their face. It's just like they're being polite. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
and then in the early 60s, that was not an uncommon thing to have like dress up clothes. They just took it a step further with the suits. So, but yeah, that's one of my first anyway was Kiss, one I really recognized.
Okay. Well, I mean,
But
early stuff. Bowie doing Ziggy Stardust.
true, yeah.
So that's where I kind of go. Okay. So like the Motown guys would have like their fancy suits. So
Yeah, they're
is
fancy.
it a Was it a uniform that they were wearing? Well, no, because
That's
it was got your attention. So I can
well,
see
yeah.
some are costumes, some are uniforms, some are just suits. Since we're going down
Well,
this fashion road.
it was the style back then, though. If you think about it, I mean, all bands from the Mills Brothers to the Platters to all the early bands dressed up. It was like a big deal for them. Buddy Holly had a suit on all the time.
Yes.
So I think it's just the time and age. The suits were more common back then than, say, costumes are for bands today. Put it
Okay.
that kind of sort of put it that way. But yeah, when you brought up Bowie, that's pretty much right on. And they started. Bowie was in there. You had New York Dolls. Yeah, they were trying to dress as like women though, so was it the same? But it's a costume to me. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would count that in.
Okay.
Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper was definitely a costume guy. It still is. I mean, but he's really theatrical. But Kiss was really the stage was freaking out. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Cooper puts on like a mini play or something during his set. He'll
So
have the straight
that's
jacket.
costumes. You know, that
Yeah,
is costumes.
yeah. And I mean, it's not that, rock music. Think about even in pop music, how many times does Madonna or Beyonce or
Yes.
Katy Perry and them, they go back and do costume changes all during the set. So it's part of being a performer is you wear a costume. And guys like us, no, our whatever we wore to the venue is what we're playing in. We didn't, that was our choice.
Yeah.
Even you really think hard about it. I bet I'm almost betting that even some punk bands back in the day had kind of costumes. Think about the Ramones. Did they all wear leather jackets everywhere they go? Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. Maybe that was part of the costume for them was okay, I wear my coat, I wear my jacket when I'm playing. It makes me look punk, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things. Some people it was just how they dressed and it was the culture they lived. Like Jimi Hendrix, I don't think his was a costume. I think he
No.
wore that kind of stuff all the time,
Yeah.
and yeah, shit like that. So it's a fine line, but there's some that you can definitely tell, like Kiss, like Alice Cooper, and I don't know if that's the far. That's probably the two that I remember first, as far as that. Even to an extent, be honest, Cheap Trick. Because you had Robin Zander would wear a suit with a
Yeah.
skinny tie or whatever.
Yeah.
Bunny Carlos would wear the tie that was all fucked up like he was a businessman that had a bad day.
Yeah.
But he always had a tie on back there and smoking a cigarette most of the time. And Rick had the flipped up hat
Yeah.
that you would see later from like Suicidal. But I think Mikey wears that shit all the time. But Rick, I don't know. Maybe it was
Yeah.
just part of his. Well, he put that on when he played.
Well, ACDC. Everybody knows everybody in fucking ACDC except for Angus and even Bon Scott. There's videos of when they were in their early years and Bon Scott wore a schoolgirl outfit and had a wig on with the fucking Pippi Longstocking fucking
Oh, geez.
pigtails going on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm kind of glad I'd never seen that. I'd
Yeah,
never seen that
yeah.
stuff.
I'll dig that up for you. But and of course, Angus, the schoolboy was the most famous. But I think there was a show before he completely adopted the schoolboy outfit. He dressed up in a gorilla suit one time
Wow.
in the early
Interesting.
early days when they were first start playing. I think one
Huh.
time he dressed up in a gorilla suit. So, you know, Angus has always had the schoolboy costume.
Right. And that whether that's search and it's not like all ACDC did it. So it was at this point it's just Angus, but and Brian Johnson wears that same kind of hat.
Yeah, his
But I think
beanie. Or
he just wears it everywhere.
yeah,
And it's like he's so the only one that really has a costume for ACDC would be Angus for me.
yeah.
But there's like, well, a band that's making a comeback right now, kind of, sort of. Look at Limp Bizkit, what they're doing.
Okay.
And it was always in the past. Wes Borland would always wear a mask.
Yes.
And Fred wouldn't. Fred wore his normal street clothes. The rest of the band was normal street clothes. Well, now Fred kind of joined in the party. So when they go to these concerts, Borland changes his costume about every show. He's got something different going on. And Fred, he'll come out in a damn cowboy outfit one day, and he'll come out in something completely different the next day. And they try to make it more fun for the shows. I think that's what it boiled down to, was just, you know, we're blessed to kind of be here after 30 years of being out, or 25 years, and we're getting these great crowds. Let's have some fun with them. You come out, you get a guy coming out in a cowboy outfit and whatever Wes has got on, and he walks up to the mic and goes, "Hey, y'all, and said, how about we break some shit?" And it
Yeah.
starts break stuff. It's like that. That's kind of a pump you through the roof for that show. It's like that's pretty interesting way to use it to your advantage. But some of these bands, this is their whole identity,
Yeah.
and they like it that way. And because, like I talked about, the mystique is really heavy. Like Kiss, for how many years did people want to try to catch a picture of Kiss without their makeup? It
Yeah.
was like the allure that, who are these people? And who are they? And all their buddies knew them. Their
Yeah.
parents knew who they were. Yeah, but the majority of us didn't know who they were. And once they took the mask off, it's like, hey, could you guys politely put that makeup back on? Because you're not a good looking people. But that's just me in a very heterosexual way. It's like, I guess I expected more. Once you get them off, it was like,
They're
nothing. There's
just
just
dudes.
normal people. Yeah. It just looked like normal dudes from New York. It's like, what? All that time, we was all stressed out, worried about it. And I mean, I tried to, I don't know if I want to kind of go in order because I think they get a little better as they go. But, well, you talked about Suits before. I remember the Knack came out. Remember, they all wore the suits. That was what, late 70s. Then you had Devo with whatever the hell they got going, flower pots on their head or whatever I don't even know what the hell they are. And those things have kind of just stayed with them. They never gave it up. They never
Yeah.
gave the costumes up. Bands that have been doing it for a long time, like Guar. Guar's a full blown
Yes.
mini horror movie. And,
Yes.
and, and it's so over the top, though, dude. And I mean, it is so dramatic, and just it looks cheesy as hell. And that's the point, I think.
Yeah.
They didn't want it to be, these elaborate costumes that look perfect. They wanted them to be like cheesy puppet looking things. Even to the point of like green jelly, green jello, whatever you want to call them. They have it's a metal puppet show. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
And they have people in the crowd showing up dressed as these puppet outfits. It's like, what a what a great uh, advertising for yourself. To have people want to come in and dress up like your puppets for the show. And I mean, that was the big ones in my life that I remember. But there were some that, well, I mean, there's a lot that are just like the lead guy. Like Cooper's more just him,
Yeah.
but he has the stuff going on around him. But like King Diamond is the only one wearing a costume. Most of them are just playing the music. But King takes his persona, and when he puts that costume on, he's a different person, man. He's like, he goes from being this mild mannered guy who lives in Texas now to being King Diamond, for God's sake. And I think it's a big switch off, but he's got it down to a science. I don't think he walks around in that makeup and he probably doesn't even. And the first time I saw a picture of him without his makeup on, I was like, that's about spot on. I mean, I could almost have guessed that. So it's not
Okay.
even like a big heavy costume that he wears. It's a persona thing. It's the whole character. It's like a
Yes.
character thing, and it's like, but he's got that lore, with the upside down crosses and the top hat and
Well, it goes
all
hand
the
in hand with the theatrics.
yeah, and then he does, he's done numerous concept albums where it's like Abigail or Them and all these great albums that are all kind of concept albums. They tell a big story. He's like a storyteller, like the MC of a play or something to me. It's almost like he's navigating a story every time you see him play anywhere, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I won't fault him for it because I think it's pretty damn cool. Some I don't understand. I'll be quite honest, but it's gotten them to a point where people recognize him right away, and but I don't get the lore, the story behind Buckethead. Okay, wear a bucket on your head, but why is it a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket? I mean, or is it, or does he change it? Is it different kind of buckets? I don't know. But he's got the pure white face too. I've never seen a picture of Buckethead
No,
to this day. I've never seen a
no.
picture of him without the white makeup and without the bucket on his head. So it's like, I don't know. I think, to be honest, I think I would almost be, I don't want to say arrogant, but I would almost want people to know who I am. That'd be part of being a celebrity for me, would have people notice me. And if I'm walking around without a white face or a bucket on my head and nobody knows who the hell I am,
Well, he might be trying to be anonymous. You know what I'm
that's what
saying?
I mean. That's what I
It's
mean. But it's like,
completely character. He's a
yeah,
complete character. That's all it is. And he takes that
yeah,
shit off, and nobody knows who the fuck he is. He can walk around.
yeah. See, that would take some of the. I think that would take some of it out for me. I don't know. I think I'd want people to notice me at some point,
Yeah,
and it's like some of these guys have never. I mean, Guar, I'm sure I've seen pictures of them without their stuff on, but I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know who the hell they were if they walked
yeah,
down the street. And I mean, some of them are so slight. Some of the costumes people are so slight that you definitely tell. Like, take a Marilyn Manson, for example.
yeah,
I mean, he wears a costume with the contacts and with the weird shit he puts on, the thongs and all that stuff. But you can definitely tell who he is at all times if he's
yeah.
walking the street. Same kind of thing with Rob Zombie. Even though he wears like specific type of stuff. Now, Zombie was always one for me. It's like I wouldn't be shocked if that guy wore that kind of stuff everywhere.
Okay,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
torn up shirts, and maybe he does, but I think the overcoat and stuff he has on sometimes kind of puts him in the costume category. Um,
Well,
maybe not. I mean,
I've seen pictures of Rob Zombie in like horror T-shirts. I've seen him looking like normal, maybe ripped up
yeah,
jeans. So the rock star outfit. I've seen him in the stage get up. So I mean, there is a fucking difference. He's wearing his costume
yeah,
when he goes out to perform, but he still has like the rock star costume. That you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
The leather
and I think
pants, that's not. But that I don't really consider that a costume. That's just kind of
I I don't either. That's kind of
a
why
rock star get up, whatever you want to call
I I asked for a list because I knew I had a handful,
it. Okay.
and I put some of these on the list that I don't really. I don't get it. Like they had the Beatles, but I understand now, when we're talking about the suits, okay, that could
Well,
have been.
Sergeant Pepper's,
Yeah, yeah,
they
that
had the
album.
band outfits.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it was just for every album to have or a tour, it would be one thing, but
Yeah.
to be like that all the time. Now, Misfits, I mean, they definitely have their. I think it's more for Misfits for me though. It's more their look. It's more than the clothes. So it's like
Okay.
I guess the look could be considered a costume, but I guess well, Kiss had makeup too, so I guess I really can't Buckethead. So, yeah, I mean, I would say that's a good fair assessment for the Misfits. They're
Okay.
definitely horror gore kind of dressing and all black usually. The weird hair, the one guy had the flipped over hair. I don't remember his name,
Doyle. Doyle.
but yeah, that's definitely one there. Um, Mushroom had been around forever and ever. And I don't know who came first. You know what? I'd like to know who came first between Mushroom Head and Slipknot because there's very similar. I think Slipknot probably did, but I can't be positive. But Mushroom Head's got the similar look as Slipknot. Now,
Okay.
Slipknot to me has the whole boar costume. They have it all. They have the jumpsuits. They have the mask. They change mask every so often, every couple tours or every tour or something like that. They also have like the beer keg they play on. It's like they have a full theatrical setup. But the mystique of Slipknot was gone because Corey Taylor came out, Jim Root came out with Stone Sour then in their normal looking faces. So the mystique part of that's gone, but the costume part of Slipknot
Is
lives
solid.
on. Yeah, it lives
Yeah.
on, and I don't think they'll ever play a show without that. I mean, I can't imagine that's part of their that's part of the band is their costumes. And,
Yeah.
and some people like Kiss can get by. They went off of it, but where did they end up? Back on it, So it's like it, it probably gets you so used to playing that stuff. It's got to be a pain in the ass, though, wouldn't you think? I mean, Guar, all that stuff. Wouldn't you think that'd be a pain in the ass?
Yes and no. I mean, it's kind of now goes hand in hand. You expect you when you go see Cooper, you expect him to do the straight jacket. You expect him the looks kind of it solidifies the band, and for them, it's probably got to be where that persona, the stage persona, it solidifies that stage persona. So when I'm on stage, it gets me in a mind frame where I'm ready to play and I'm ready to interact with the fans, and it gets you in a head game. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, it's showtime. I'm in my costume. Let's fucking go. Let's do the best we can. Put on a hell of a show. So a lot of it's integral to what the hell's going on. You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
that, but I mean, I'm thinking more along the lines of like Guar. Wouldn't that be hard to play your instrument with that
For
stuff
me, yeah,
going on?
I've got I like wearing my fucking cargo shorts and my t-shirt and being able to play the best that I can the shit that I play. you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like, but those are the more. It's the ones like that would be the one I would think have more because it's got to be hot. It's got to be awkward to play instruments in. It's like,
Well, okay,
you know,
we played how many Halloween shows where we everybody actually dressed up? How much of a pain in the ass was that for you when we did those shows? Or was it just fun and you didn't give a fuck?
Well, I mean, I wasn't never constricted on as far as being able to move and all that stuff. I didn't have like the constrictions except for like Kate that kept stepping on and stuff. But I mean, I've done plenty of Halloween shows over the course of the years, and it's like those are fun to do. But it's like I'm not dressing up like War and Green, guys like that. They got a whole outfit on. It's like insane. Got to be insane to maneuver in. And
Yeah,
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 it's like I don't know how you're comfortable. I mean, maybe I don't look at it close enough. Maybe they have plenty of room for their arms to be out, and it's just their head, and there's ways they keep cool in there. Who knows? But it's like I look at bands like that, and I'm like, man, there's no way. Like Mac Sabbath. If you've ever seen Mac
yeah,
Sabbath,
yeah.
how the hell's that dude in Grimace playing? He's dressed the big purple Grimace. How the hell's he be able to play a guitar or whatever the hell he played? I can understand Ronald singing. I can understand even the Hamburglar because he's just barely wearing a mask. But fucking Grimace, how do you do that? And the drummer, I don't have any idea how a drummer of any kind does that. Any outfit on in a drum suit and trying to play drums would be
Yeah,
bullshit. I
yeah.
mean, I just couldn't do it. But I mean, that's why they're where they're at. They can do it, I guess. But it's like, man, those big clumpy outfits like that, the costumes, that'd
Well,
be where you lost me.
the Necro Goblicon, that dude
Yeah,
does the whole show in that fucking mask and sings. Now you're a singer. All
yeah,
you're holding is a mic, and all he's wearing is a fucking goblin mask.
right.
Okay, so is it prosthetic where they glue it on so you can articulate when you're singing? I mean, he
I
does
don't
it.
know.
He does
Yeah,
it.
I mean, you see plenty of people that have the full mask on that sing, and it's even like the TV show, The Masked Singer, where they have these big costumes. They come out and they sing. Singing is one thing, playing instruments is another. I mean, 100%. But even with the masked singer to move around and stuff, because their head might not be proportionate, they might have a bigger head,
Yeah, the big
or the
giant.
arms, they have that microphone on their head. They all have the microphone that's wireless that's on their head, and they can fake singing into the real, to a microphone, but they're singing into that
Yeah.
headset. So, and that I never liked that. I never liked trying to sing into a headset. It was never comfortable. And, maybe I don't even know if I ever got to try a wireless one, but it was like the wire itself was bugging me, and then trying to find the spot that would put it through. But then when you're playing, like when I was playing drums and doing that, it's like here I am wheezing because I'm an overweight guy, a big obese guy trying to play drums and sing. And it's like the wheezing. You got to catch all that on there. It's like I don't want and trying to sing like the Eagles guy, like Don Henley did, with that microphone up above you, which a lot of singers do, or to the side. That would throw me off. But with a mask on and full gear on would really screw me up.
Well,
I just
do you think they kind of fudge it on the show?
I don't know. I think the drummer almost you would think the drummer almost has to be free and unconstrained, right? As far as his body part. But then again, I seen like this clip from a Japanese TV show or something. And this thing was, I mean, it was this big, oh, this wide. And it was all around him. He's like a big, giant raspberry or something, whatever it was. He's up there just jamming. And he starts playing double bass and he's going nuts on it. I'm like, how in the world is he playing that, not missing a beat? And it's like, I don't know, man. It's like
Yeah.
it just takes talent, and I guess you got to get used to it. It would be almost like girls playing in high heels. Some can do that, a double bass.
Well, okay. So let's look at what your your pop stars, like your Britney Spears and your fucking
Yeah,
all these people that are out there doing dance moves, and the shit they're doing, they're out of breath. So,
you would think. You would
you
think.
know what I'm saying? So that's where you've got a lot of those pop stars are fucking lip syncing. They
Or they
are.
have
They're
backing
lip
tracks.
syncing. They are lip syncing. You fucking know it as well as I'm standing here. When they're doing their dance shit on fucking stage, and it's not live until they get stop and say something in between songs, and that's when they cut in the mic. They have to, because of
Yeah,
all these elaborate moves, and people fucking know it. I'm not going to deny that's what they're fucking doing. They got to be doing it. They have to.
I think most of them do. I think there's a select few that probably don't. To me, honestly, I don't know that Lady Gaga does. Just because I've heard her, kind of lost breath when she was in the middle of a
Okay, but that's
show.
that's different. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you can
If
tell.
you're dancing, moving around, and you're actually fucking singing, and you're out of breath, I give you more props for that than doing a soundtrack.
Yeah, yeah, I don't. I think it's a select few that do. Yeah, and it's like they're all in their costumes, but they're not wearing like stuff over their head. They're not wearing
Yes,
these heavy
yes,
ass shit. Like I think the ones that might be more uncomfortable for me. I mean, Slipknot would have to be a nightmare for me for
yeah.
one,
To
because of
see,
the jumpsuit for one, and
yeah,
then he can barely see, and then
yeah,
his mouth, that mask is so tight on him, you can see the mouth move as he's singing, but it's behind. His mouth's behind it, and it's like a whole half an inch or something behind it. So he's got to actually push more out to get through that. And Ghost was the same way. Tobias, some of his masks are like that. He wants to make it so realistic you can see him singing, but he can't have it plastered to his face, so it has to be out a little bit. They probably have to give it a little more extra to get that. Because you would think trying to make it through a mask, you're going to be paranoid you're not getting loud enough anyway.
yeah.
To me, it would be. But I tell you what, the one that might, other than the Hamburglar and her, the Grimace and Wars and stuff, I think bands like Behemoth and the Convalescents, and them, they wear these giant freaking like overcoats from like dwarfen days and Lord of the Rings kind of shit.
Okay,
Big heavy ass coats. They got spikes on them up here, and the heavy thick ass high boots, and then have all that makeup on to go on top of that, and you can't really show any. Their whole stick gimmick or whatever it would be. Behemoth is like this evil thing, but the costume part is like olden times, like the Dark Ages or something. That
yeah,
shit's got to be heavy, uncomfortable, and it doesn't matter if it's mid-July or August, and and they got pyro going off behind them and stuff. It's got to be freaking unbelievably hot. I think that would be more uncomfortable for me than a Slipknot kind of thing, just
okay,
because that had to weigh you down for one. And you got all that fire going on that's going to heat your ass up on the stage. The lights are on you. There's nowhere to run. You have no, at least with Slipknot, you could go back to the back and maybe lift your mask up and throw a hawker out there or something. Try to get something in your splash some water on those dudes, man. And I seen the Convalescents when we played with them, and it wasn't extremely hot, and it wasn't like there was a thousand people in this room. I mean, it was kind of small crowd for them, very small crowd for them. But they had all their shit on still. It didn't matter. They never left costume for a minute. The makeup, full deal. The overcoats, the leather ass, heavy duty like blacksmith pants and shit. It's like, dude, you guys you got to be ripe after a show. You got to be ripe because you got to be sweating bullets for the entire show you're doing. And God forbid it's the middle of August,
Yeah.
somewhere like Ohio with humidity. So it's like I understand the allure of costumes, but me personally, I don't know if it'd be worth it. I mean, of course, if I was famous, I would say different. But if I was going to start out in a band today's world, I'd look at bands like that and say, "You're out of your mind. I'm not going through that every night. I want to hop up and roll out of the van or the bus and throw throw my shoes on and say, "Let's go. I'm ready. Whatever shirt I'm wearing for the day, that's it." But that's the part that people seen from a probably in Gen X. Look at all the bands that saw Kiss, and they even back further they saw Bowie, and then they saw Alice Cooper. They saw these bands and thought, "Wow, that's pretty neat. They're putting on a whole
Show.
to
Yeah.
do, man." And kids today got the same thing with, Slipknot's been around for 26 years now. So they've been around doing it. Mushroom Head around here has been around for a long time. But Ghost was the one I think that brought it, to be honest, brought it back
Okay.
a little heavier. And I think Europe in general, to tell you the truth, because I sent you a link one time or put it on our Facebook page for this dwarf metal. Those dudes, I, I don't know how they function. They're wearing like king's robes and shit. And
Yeah.
it's like, he's a big boy like me, that singer is. It's like, how do you maintain it, man? Lugging all that around with fire and everything else going off. You're singing this operatic dwarf metal, for God's sake. But it's like, that's what people over there in Europe, especially, they love that shit. They're very much into the costume bands, the theatrical band. That's where it goes, They're from Sweden. So it's like that's where Tobias kind of thought up his probably seen a million bands when he was a kid and thought that's cool. And if I could change my persona every couple albums or every tour or whatever, and never reveal who's got playing in my band. And to this day, I've never seen a picture of any of them but
Yeah.
Tobias Forge. And I think he refers to himself in third person still. He said, Papa does this. You're Papa, dude. But no, he's so much in
Well,
tune to his character in costume that he becomes somebody else. He leaves what he's doing and he's Papa Emeritus. That's what he is at that point. So it's kind of very cool, but would it be for me? Would it be? It's not for everybody. You
yeah.
got, I mean, like I said, I don't want to be arrogant sounding, but I'd want to kind of get credit for my shit, you know? It's kind of like if I'm the nameless ghoul that's back there working my ass off playing drums every night, I kind of want somebody to know who I am.
Yeah.
Just, give me a little credit. A paycheck's nice. But when you do it, you're not doing it for the money most times. You're doing it for the fame. You want a little bit, just a smidge of it. Those poor bastards, they're blackface. They're just blacked out. Never been recognized for, as far as I know. Maybe their hometown, everybody knows who they are. I don't know.
Well, it's all about what you want out of the fucking mix. I mean,
Yeah.
if these guys and they're excellent musicians. I've heard a lot of these guys are fucking excellent musicians,
Oh yeah.
and they play their fucking asses off. And maybe it's good enough for them in their head that they know what they've done, and they just don't want that extra bullshit. I mean, you've seen
Could be.
what fame will do when they get it too fast. I mean, Kurt Cobain is a fucking perfect example.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he wanted the fame at one point, But when it was too much, look what it fucking did to him. So
Yeah.
maybe these
Yeah.
people are starting to understand, hey, I have got to fucking put myself here, and I've got to put my stage persona out here and completely keep it separate because of some of these people that fucking fame destroyed them. I
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. They have got to completely separate the persona from what they do every day. So maybe it's a protection thing. I don't know. I mean, who know? I couldn't recognize Green Jelly or Green Jello and fucking the guys from
Yeah.
Guar. I wouldn't know them if they walked up and said, "Boo, motherfucker." Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't either. I mean, and that, I know it's a front man thing, but like the front man for some of these bands are the ones that get all the attention,
Well,
and they're the ones that usually are the ones that crack.
if
Kind of
you're
like,
if you're the spokesman for the band and you know what I'm talking about, you got lead singer disease. Some of them get it. Some of them can be pretty cool, and it doesn't go to their head.
right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So you get a little bit of that, but you are the spokesman unless, like, the guitar player is the standout. And then you still have that combination of the lead singers is the front man being out there and the hot lead guitar player. David Lee
Yeah.
Roth and Eddie is a perfect example. Or
Yeah. They're
Steve Harris is the spokesman for the band, but Bruce Dickinson is the front guy. You know what I mean?
yeah. 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 And
So
that's, I
you've
mean,
got that fucking dynamic as well. But those guys, Dickinson, he'll put on a mask and he'll put on the outfits. So he's done costumes for years. Dresses up like the trooper waving the flag.
yeah, during the show, but I mean,
But who's
it's
the
not, it's not
spokesman?
a,
Who's the spokesman
yeah.
for fucking Iron Maiden? Steve Harris.
Right. Yeah.
They
I
call
mean,
him the boss.
I guess what I'm getting at is the payoff for those guys that have to play with you know all that crap on and they never get it's like it would just be a thing for me. It's like, man, why am I wearing all this crap? Nobody cares about me. I'm just playing the drums.
But yeah, but
You know,
you're
if I was the front man, I'd be a different story. It's like, okay, the mystique of the front man would be pretty cool. But everybody else, man, why do we have to go through this crap? Why couldn't he? Now he's the one that's outed. The rest of us got to keep wearing this stuff. I mean, it would be like, I guess it's just, at this point, it's their job. They know that. And
yeah,
they probably enjoy playing. It's like no big deal to them. Even Slipknot, they got that new drummer and he wears like a Jason mask, a hockey mask. I don't know how he does it, but the way he beats the hell out of I mean, he plays extra hard than I've ever seen anybody play. And it's like, what happens if that thing slides up over his eyes one time? He must have that thing like super strapped to not move because if it would slide off, start sweating, and then be moving around, oh man, that would tear your face up. It's just little things like that I think about. And it's like, I don't know why it intrigues me so much, but the, the behind the scenes of a band like that would be kind of cool to see if they like put a little strip of glue on the sides and because they have that glue now that doesn't hurt your skin and
yeah,
just stick it on there so you don't sweat it off during the show. And yeah, Ghost with those, I'd love to just see the goal. I just like to see the ghouls one time, just to see if they're like any. Because sometimes you see people and you're like, those guys were the ones playing that. That don't look right. Other
yeah,
times it's like, oh yeah, I see ghosts being a bunch of nerds. I really do. Just like down to earth looking guys that would play, you know, be on Fortnite playing Fortnite when their time off and shit. That's the kind of guys I get now. Behemoths, I think they're scary motherfuckers. You can see their face a little bit, but I've never seen them. Only singer, the only one I've seen was no makeup, and he's scary without makeup. He's deep and dark. But now the one kind of ruling the world right now, to be honest, is the band Sleep Token.
Okay.
And I think a lot of it's because their music is. I'm not a huge Sleep Token fan. I mean, it caught me by surprise when they first came out because you got a guy who can sing very soulful, and they have like real mellow R&B type of music, and then it turns into heaviest shit you're gonna hear today. They got that little all jammed into one thing. Well, Vessel is the singer, a real skinny guy, and I still don't know to this day is he black or white because he's kind of painted up with like a black kind of makeup all over his body.
Okay.
And his face has got little splotches you see might be white, might not be. And he wears like a mask over the top, but not on his mouth. And he's just a very elaborate setup he's got every day that he goes on stage. People are intrigued by this guy. I think that's part of it is the mystique of trying to think who is this guy? Because but in his defense, because he is such a good singer, they really think he's a singer that's already been famous.
Okay.
That's what the whole thing behind him is. Who is it? He's English. He sounds English. So they try to hook up the drummer. He goes by the name of Two, but he wears the entire outfit. He speaks with an English accent. I'm pretty confident, and it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying, pretty confident that this guy is a black guy from England.
Okay.
But you don't know for sure. It's like that mystique. But he's just got that. Oh, he's such a tactician on drums, man. It's just like you're just so curious to see him. But it doesn't matter when you're
Well,
listening to the music.
is that going to ruin the illusion?
It might, and that might be why they don't.
Well,
That might have been why they did it in the first place, and they're
yeah.
not going to ever reveal themselves.
No. Well, because you got to have press, and they probably dreamed up that whole thing as a marketing ploy.
Oh yeah, they
You
got
know
the
what I'm saying?
symbol. They got the symbol the band uses
They
and all that
want you.
stuff. They
They
got it
want
all.
you to fucking guess and wonder because then you're thinking about it. So it's all fucking subliminal shit.
Oh yeah,
It's putting it in your mind who what's so you're intrigued and you're
yeah, I
talking about them.
am.
So
I
you
really
felt
am.
they hooked
Yeah, I
you.
took it.
You're hooked.
I took it.
So
Yeah,
that's all. That's marketing and all that. It's the same way with Buckethead. All these years, you never see pictures. It's probably part of his thing. It's like nobody takes
oh yeah,
pictures of
true.
me when I'm not wearing my shit to keep that
And
mystique to keep people engaged. It's all engagement. You gotta. That was the whole thing with Kiss. That fucking mystique. They did the Unmasked album and the cartoon on the fucking
yeah,
cover. They
and
took the mask off and it was them.
it's still a mask. Yeah,
It's still a fucking mask. So, but how long has that taken these guys? 50 fucking
yeah,
years later, it's still everybody knows who they are now because of the
yeah, yeah,
80s. They were just
yeah. They
trying to
come out.
prove a point. We can still play, we can still pack stadiums in our fucking without our fucking makeup. And then it's like that's what people want to see. So Mr.
They went
Marketing
back to it.
himself
Yeah,
said, "Put the fucking makeup on, dude. Put it
yeah.
back on."
Let's go back to the makeup. Now I
Yeah.
think they lasted like a decade. I think Kiss from like 73 to 83, 84, whenever Lick It Up came out. So I'm thinking Sleep or Ghost lasted longer, if I'm not mistaken, before we actually seen Tobias. But I'd already been snooping. I looked up his former band, so I knew what he looked like. He's
Okay.
changed some, but he still I knew what he looked like. But it was just curiosity at that. But like Sleep Token, I think they'll use it for everything it's worth. I really do. I think they'll never let you know who Vessel is. And I bet money now. I'm almost betting my life. Vessel was just some random guy that was a good singer. He's not some other genre singer that is doing this strange music.
Okay, so let me throw this out here for you. Let's go down the fucking rabbit hole. If you never know who the fucking dude is, and just like Ghost and Sleep Token, if somebody fucking dies and you get a fucking replacement, how are you gonna fucking know? You're never gonna
Not if
fucking
they're
know.
not if they're built the same and talk the same. Well, you go all the way
So,
back to
okay,
Paul,
so
Paul McCartney's dead back in. Remember that? I remember
okay,
that. Heard
so
about it.
that's what I'm saying. So our generation is so used to having our icons. So
Yeah.
everybody knows what fucking Alice Cooper looks like without the makeup. You
Yeah.
can't replace Alice Cooper. You can't
Yeah.
replace certain key fucking members of these bands because they have become icons.
They've
Am I,
tried
am I right or
apparently.
wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
They,
There's
they
some people
will.
that the hardcore conspiracy people think there's been a few replaced. Like what they say, Taylor Swift is not who she was, and then Avril Lavigne is not who she was replaced by a
Well,
clone.
okay. Katy
And
Perry
yeah,
was she uh, Benet Ramsey?
yeah,
I've
that
seen
was
that crazy shit, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. It's fun though to look at that when people get carried away. Like
Yeah, it
supposedly,
is.
like if you ever seen a video back in the day, it was funny. This is a side note, real quick. Anton LaVey was like a big, freaky, spooky, satanic dude back in the day. Mr.
Yeah,
Crowley and all them.
yeah,
But Anton LaVey was there. He had a wife, and she was on Springer with him. And it is kind of spooky. You put her up beside Taylor Swift, it's pretty damn close. And
yeah,
it's like that's where everybody runs to, though. Any
yeah,
slight resemblance, they run to it. But anyway, so yeah, I think Sleep Token's playing it right. I mean, their music's good enough for people to really get into,
okay,
but I think the mystique takes them to a different level for people like me that are like, I like some of their stuff, I don't like some. It's kind of like I don't hate it, but I don't go over the board. Some people are nuts for these guys. I
yeah,
mean, they just headline download, and that's hard to get for a band that's only been out for a few years. So they're sold out. Their whole North American tour is sold out already. So
yeah,
whatever they're doing it right as far as everything combined, the music, the costumes, the allure, all that stuff. And then recently, just a month ago, and a band called President showed up out of nowhere. Now, this is a guy with one of those cheesy president masks, not a very well done mask, even really.
okay,
Wore like a mask, and it wasn't a specific president. It wasn't anything like that, but it was just the name of the band, President. So they come out. This song, the first song they have, is huge. It's like people are real. Again, here's the mystique. Blah blah blah. So they're all like banging down the door. Who is this guy? People got all their theories. I think it's this guy. I think it's that guy. Well, the end of this like second or third video, at the end, he takes his mask off, just takes it off. It's some guy named Charlie Simpson or something from England. And he was like a pop star, but this is
okay,
metalcore. So people then are, but this is the good part. So they're screaming back at, oh, it was Charlie Simpson. And half the people are saying, that's bullshit. That's a lie. That's not really who president is. So even after he took his mask off, half the people think that that's just a ruse. They're really somebody else is singing still. So what's he going to do? He's going to keep that mask on. He is. If he's getting this much debate about if it's really Charlie Simpson, maybe the next video, this is what I would do in my marketing mind. At the end of the next video, I would get a buddy of mine that's a big hit in England too. that's a pop star or something like that, and have them be in my video and have them take the mask off at the end. So then people would be like, the hell, they'd be freaking out. Man, it's a great marketing decision because you get swallowed up in the world of metalcore now. I mean, there's
Okay. Yeah.
metalcore. So this guy came out of left field. I hadn't even, no precursor. He's coming out. That first video was just the weird mask, the good music. It's good music, yeah, for the good singer. But the way he did his creepy little things in that mask, like one, he gives a, and they say it was a Biden grin. So he looked at the camera in the video. It was like the dumbfounded look, like Biden used to have sometimes. He did that on purpose. He's like showing different presidents as he goes through. Times where he's had his head cocked like Ronald Reagan was,
Okay.
where he's kind of doing hand gestures like Trump. He's doing the whole president's thing over and over. But it's not as good to me. I mean, it's good. It's a good marketing ploy. Music is really good. I do like it. I still can't beat. You can't beat the presidents of the United States. The whole but not that band, but the nuclear power trio. That's phenomenal. Those costumes are phenomenal, dude. Trump playing the lead guitar. You had Putin's on the bass, and that Kim Jong Un plays drums. They got full mask, the makeup, the suits, the military outfits, and Kim Jong Un's got on. Putin's over there just slapping the shit out of the bass, going nuts. It's freaking awesome, and they never sing, so it's like it's an instrumental trio. Now I know who they are for real,
Yeah.
and so it's not the mystique there, but that's the comedy of it. You got North Korea, Russia, and United States jamming together in this power trio. And it's like, they're some of the best musicians you're going to hear.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal, dude. But it's like,
Wow.
those are the best costumes I think I've ever seen. They
Yeah.
look, they look super freaking real.
Wow.
I mean, they are very, very good costumes, man. And it's a blast just to check them out. But yeah, I mean, costume bands are fun. It wouldn't have been for me if I would have been. I wouldn't have desired to go that route, but if I
Yeah.
would have had to, I would have gladly done so. Kind of
Yeah.
thing. But I'd much rather be a slob, you know, and just have basketball shorts and a
Yeah.
shirt on. And I feel comfortable doing that. Now, you put Alice Cooper in basketball shorts and a shirt, he might feel awkward and naked and
Yeah.
uncomfortable and everything else. So, it
Yeah.
could work both ways. Maybe that's why Buckethead and bands like that don't ever show their face. They don't want to show them. They'll be too fucked up.
Yeah.
Kind of like stage fright. Could be.
That could
Who
be.
knows for real? A
Yeah.
lot of people could be like, as long as I don't show my face and I can't see them staring back at my face,
Yeah.
then I'm good. I'm golden. I ain't gonna get nervous.
Yeah.
Might have something to do with it. I don't know. Probably. It's all opinions, man.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
So, do you think we've pretty much touched on the topic of costume bands then?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a million of them out there that would consider themselves costume bands, but for the majority, I think we hit on the main ones and the reasonings behind it. I won't even give a listen to this. I'll give like a listen to this, go see this thing. You guys gotta watch Nuclear Power Trio. Just go to watch any video. And the mask and stuff is so damn good that it looks like the actual leaders of the fucking world are playing together in a trio. And that's kind of my thing about that. Is when it's well done, it's very cool to see. And when it's done for mystique, it's very interesting. So these guys know what they're doing. They all know what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
But no way I'm dressing up in some dwarf costume with a heavy ass overcoat and chaps and everything. I won't do it now. Maybe 40 years ago, 30 years ago. There's no way. I give it up to them though. I give it up to them for
Yeah,
staying true to their persona and for keeping in costume when they do it. It makes a great crowd experience for sure. So
definitely.
yeah, all kudos to all of them people to do that.
Exactly. This was more interesting than I thought it was going to be when we started it. We kind of went down a rabbit hole and we started talking about all sorts of stuff. So
Yeah, organic stuff like that is the most interesting to me. Just when you start on a topic and just go ramble on, sometimes that's it's a nice needed break. You don't always have to be about facts and data and this. So yeah, I think it's kind of a cool way to go about things. You hit on something and just let it rip. So yeah, might be something we'll have to do more in the future. Just kind of grab a topic and say, hey, let's shoot the shit for an hour. Why not?
there you go.
Works out. Works out.
All right, Mikey. Well, let's wrap it up for this week.
Okay, sir.
All right, this is Skeet.
Mosh and Mikey.
See ya.
Peace out.